Welcome to the United America Project. I'm your host, Bobby Bomani, co-founder of the United America Project and also the founder of Community Link. Now we only have one agenda, and that's to unite America and change the world. Follow me. So, what is the end game to this Black Lives Matter movement? Now, we've seen the movement sweep across the entire world pretty much, but we haven't heard any concrete solutions to the problems that they're raising. Now, this should raise a red flag in everybody's mind. See, the simple fact of the matter is there is no end game. And the reason for that is because Black Lives Matter is a protest and a movement that was sparked by the death of Gregory Floyd. But now it was hijacked by Antifa and other organizations that now have their own end game, okay? So now instead of talking about what they're trying to do, these other movements that have infiltrated this Black Lives Matter movement, let's talk about what the Black Lives Matter movement should be looking towards as their end game. So the first thing they want to change is police brutality. Very simple thing to change. Now, when we looking at the system, the first thing we need to change is we all need to take responsibility for ourselves and we need to police our own communities. So two simple solutions for this is one, affirmative action in the police force, okay? There's no reason for a community that's 90% African American, maybe 90% Hispanic, 90% white, to have anything other than that percentage in their police force of that population. You see, it's not really a situation of race as much as it is a situation where you want your police officers to come from the community that they're now serving. This actually makes for a better chance of the police officer knowing the people that they're policing, becoming close with the people that they're policing, and showing humility, mercy, and love towards the people they're policing because this is their community. So the second thing, which is more important than affirmative action in the police force, because that's actually just a Band-Aid if we do that at all. But the biggest thing will be training, okay? We need to set up systems that allow us to fix our problems in our nation. And that's what makes our nation so great, because we have systems. And what you do with systems is, because you know men are corrupt, corruption breeds everywhere. You have to refine these systems, but you have to make systems that are going to last for generations. So a simple system that we can implement right now is creating classes, creating courses in our high schools where young men and women who desire to be police officers at some point in their career, in the 9th, 10th, maybe 11th grade, join these classes, which will teach them about morality, teach them about the law, teach them about citizens' arrests, their own rights, teach them how to use firearms safely, teach them everything that they would need to become an amazing officer when they are of age and are ready to take on that role. And so if we put this system into our schools, okay, then when our children come out of school and they're of age to become police officers, they will have had about 6 to 7 years of training since 14 years old for this career that they've wanted since that age or probably before. So they're already going to be above and beyond the expectations of anyone else as far as training goes. And the second thing is you now give these children a purpose, because you let them know as long as you meet these requirements throughout 9th grade up until the time that you're able to become a police officer, you have a guaranteed job, okay? So that gives them a purpose. And that's a simple system that we can implement right now. Now, these are the type of goals that we can accomplish right now with this Black Lives Matter movement. But these goals will not be accomplished because the Black Lives Matter movement is not leading this movement. This movement is being led by the leftist, socialist, Marxist, communist agenda. So the end game to the Black Lives Matter movement is and should be to create systems that allow us to address the problems in our own community. Now, one last thing that we have to address is the problems in our own community. Now, I grew up in Compton, California, and everyone that I know and that I'm affectionate with, all my brothers, they're all gang members. Now, there are a lot of things that happened in our past that are the reason our culture diverged into what it turned into. You know, the CIA and FBI were putting guns in the alleys in the 90s, and people would walk down the street, gang members, just regular men, matter of fact, and see a crate full of guns. You know, we're not bringing in the illegal guns, we're not bringing in the drugs. So definitely, there are elements within our government that are doing nefarious things, and we all need to address that. This is an American problem, not a Black problem. But that does not give us, I won't say excuse, because it is an excuse, but if you rely on excuses and you cry because of your excuses, you'll be sitting in the same place tomorrow crying. So you have to actually address the problem. Regardless of why that problem exists, you have to address the problem. So we have to start with changing our culture. And this is another part of the systems that we're going to build. And we're going to talk about this a little more in our next on our next podcast. But just to give you guys a small overview, rap culture, murder, violence, drugs, debaucherous sex, no fathers, having sex with your women when they're 14, 15, 16, gangbanging. These are all things that we view in our culture as good things. The people who do these things are rappers, are entertainers. They're usually the most paid in our culture. So we have to change our culture, meaning change what you feel is good and what you promote to the youth. You know, if you go into the hood, you'll see a lot of gang members will tell the young guys, hey, you don't want to bang. That's a part of that's changing the culture. You know, the culture is not necessarily what you do, but what you promote. You know, so they'll tell the young guys, hey, you don't want to gang bang. This isn't for you, you know, stay away from it. But then if the youngsters do decide to go down that road, it's there for them. So we first have to start with our minds. So one thing I have for you guys is, there's a playlist on this YouTube page, on every one of our YouTube pages, but it's called Pure Power. Okay, we have to take our power first. We have to understand how our minds work. We have to understand how our emotions work. You know, many of us are dying because of stress, because of anxiety. We're killing ourselves because of our thoughts. We're not able to process these thoughts. And many of us have given up on life because of our thoughts. Many of us don't believe we can succeed because of our thoughts. So it starts with our minds. So we have to take that power and understand that the power is within us. Once we take back our power, then we're able to change our culture. So start there with pure power and watch as we create these systems that we're able to, day by day, moment by moment, analyze and adjust to fix everything around us. It's all about systems. If you look at the way our government is set up, it's a system. There are checks and balances. But that system needs to be refined continuously. There are bills being passed all the time to refine our system. Now, we have gotten away from being involved in that system because we don't believe we have any power in that system, which gives the people who are manipulating the system all the power. Okay, so it's all about these systems, all about refining, making them better. So we have to focus on ourselves right now. I understand there's police brutality. I understand there's racism. I understand a lot of us are living check to check, don't have a lot of money. I understand a lot of us was born into the hood and we were gangbanging since 7, 8, 9, 10. I understand there are, murderers running loose everywhere. I understand there's so many problems and so many reasons to cry. But we are powerful people. And in order to rise, we have to take our power. So go to the playlist, Pure Power, take your power, go to the website. It'll be in the link on any one of the videos on that playlist, reignitetheworld.com. Sign the petition for Community Link. That's one of our systems. We're going to implement systems right now that are going to fix things very quickly. So thank you guys for rocking with me. Thank you guys for giving me your ear. Remember what I said. We have to create systems. But first, we have to fix ourselves. Love you. Let's reignite the world.
This will probably be the last time that I reach out to mankind. My ship's taking off, and if you wanna go, then scream and die. 'Cause I got my two angels in the clouds staring down on me.